What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to today's video. Today I'm super excited to bring you the Lew's 7-foot speed stick. And I get it, a lot of their rods just say speed stick on it. This one doesn't really have a specific name. It literally just says speed stick on it. But this has been one of those rods that's been on my radar for a long time now. And you know, I've got into like the Cork style rods. I think it just matches smallmouth fishing. It's kind of what I grew up using, and I think it just looks amazing. All right, guys, if you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and also stick around for the rest of this review. We're gonna dive in, break down the specs, roll some footage of us catching some fish with this, and show you why this might be a great option for you if you're looking for a new spinning rod this year. Okay, so this Lew's speed stick, this thing is an IM8 rod blank. So IM8 is going to be their more premium line of graphite, which is a lot lighter. And we just did that ugly stick review, and that thing was just a beast. That thing is heavy. Well, guys, this thing is light as a feather, and it looks amazing. So that little IM8 rod blank right there, the carbon or the graphite, looks really, really good and uniform. This is in the 7-foot version. But they did have a couple different lengths that you can choose. I thought the 7-foot would be good for fishing off a boat, kayak, and also fishing off the bank like we're doing right now, or just wade fishing in general. This does have the Fuji concept line guides, which I love the Fuji line guides. You can see how they're contoured a little bit to add a little bit more rigidity and strength. And they also have the deep pressed aluminum oxide inserts. So that is going to keep those from actually popping out as easy as a lot of inserts will pop out. Usually around the budget entry level rods, they'll pop out sometimes. But guys, this is like an $80 rod, so you're getting a high quality rod blank. You're getting high quality features because you're paying a more premium price. So like I said, this thing's been on my radar, guys. It's one of my dream rods that I actually wanted to pick up. All right, so let's start up here at the handle portion. So it does have a nice piece of cork up here to add a little bit more durability for the long term. Then we move up, it has a nice little Lew's logo. So my logo is a little bit messed up right there, but guys, I put this thing to the test. This is like a tool that I'm using for my sport, right? So it's gonna get beat up and banged up, so it's no big deal there. But the cork itself looks really, really nice. And guys, I've had this rod for a little bit. I've been putting it to the test. I do have some video footage we're gonna show of me catching fish with this. And if you check out my how to seal cork handles video, we actually sealed the handle on this one as well. So the way you're seeing it, it has already been sealed, and I think it turned out really well. The cork looks really, really nice. So up here, where it tightens up the reel seat, also has another piece of cork, which is really, really nice. And the reel seat here is kind of like it's like a matte finish. It's a little bit more comfortable than a normal reel seat that Lew's has. And this is the same design as most Lew's reel seats. It's a little bit skeletonized there, so it should add a little bit of sensitivity to it. But this thing just feels really good in the hand, no matter how you actually grip this thing. And where it's so lightweight, should be no issues fishing with this thing all day long and not wearing your shoulder out. All right, so they call this cork the Dura cork grip, and I guess it's their more premium line of cork. So it is really firm. It's not mushy. You can really tell by the grains and everything in this, it's a more premium style cork. Okay, moving on up the rod here. I really like the green accents that this thing has. It's got the Lew's speed stick emblem there. It's got those green accents, look really, really good. This 7-foot rod has 9 line guides on it. So a lot of guides that's gonna assist with your line going through very effectively. It's gonna add to your accuracy of your casts as well. And it's gonna add to the ability to pull that fish in with ease. So this is a medium power, fast action tip. They do make this, I think, in a medium heavy and with a fast action tip. But just for me with the smallmouth right now, a medium power, fast action tip is really what I like. I would probably go down to a moderate or a moderate fast, and I would do just fine with that, but I really like this. Another thing I like about the style of rod, the hook keeper is actually right here. You see I got this little Ned rig right here. And a lot of spinning rods that have the split handles back here, they'll actually have the hook keeper back here, especially loose stuff. They'll throw it back here, and I just really don't like that design. I love how Lou's actually put it up here. Makes things a lot easier when I'm trying to get this bait off and go ahead and make a cast. The line rating for this is 6 to 14 pounds, and right now I'm running 15-pound braid to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. That's typically what I use for most of my smallmouth applications. And we do have this paired up with the Abu Garcia Revo X spinning reel. This is about a $100 spinning reel. Check out my review of this thing. This thing is probably my favorite spinning reel that I own, and it's only $100, guys. So you're getting a really high quality product there. Okay, for weight capacities here, we're looking at 3/16 ounce up to 5/8 ounce depending. But I really don't go off of that guide too much. You know, if it seems too heavy to work with this rod, then I'm not gonna throw it. And like you see here, I'm using lighter baits typically with this rod. This is a 1/5 ounce Ned head, and I'll also throw a 3/16 ounce tube jig a lot of times when I'm tube fishing, and that is about it. I keep it pretty simple with that. Just if it feels too heavy for the rod, then it probably is too heavy for the rod. So that's just something you'll have to determine by fishing with this rod a little bit. Okay, the model, if you're wondering, because this thing doesn't really have a name. So if you're on Lou's website and you're actually trying to search it by model, it is the LSS70 MFS. And like I said, this cost around $80 on Lou's website. I actually bought this off of Amazon, which is a whole nother story. So I don't know if you guys have ever bought fishing rods offline, but it can be a little bit of a hassle. But Lou's store was actually out of stock with this. Amazon actually had it, and I got it for, I think, $70. It was on sale at that time. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on this. Well, if you've ever got fishing rods shipped to you in the mail, you know it's probably gonna come broke at some point. So the first rod was broke. The tip was like shattered in half. And if you go on Amazon, you can see the reviews are kind of the same story. So the box was destroyed, the tip was crushed. And so I went back on Amazon. I was like, wow, they have a couple more in stock. So I bought 3 more of these rods. I sent the other one back that I received first. And the reason I bought 3 more is because I'm like, well, maybe out of those 3, at least one will show up not broke. So you're looking at that one right here. The other 2 that shipped with the 3 were broke in half, and this was the only one that showed up really good. But guys, this is, like I said, one of my dream rods I really wanted to buy, so I put a little bit of extra effort into getting this thing, and I shipped those other ones back, got my money back, and here we are today showing you this beautiful rod. It has these Fuji line guides, and it's just an awesome, awesome rod. All right, let's do a little bit of fishing with this thing and show you how this thing performs. I'm gonna make a couple practice casts, and then we'll move into rolling some of that footage of me actually catching fish with this thing. This is gonna be a pretty short review because there's not a lot to show other than the beauty that this Cork has, but we're gonna get right into it and show you how this performs. And guys, this might be a really good rod for you to go out and purchase. Because those Fuji line guides really help the line and that braid really go through those things very efficiently. With this rod fishing it, I have this Ned rig tied on. There is so much sensitivity with this rod, I can really feel the bottom. And right now, the bottom is kind of like a sandy bottom, so it's not even really gonna give you that much response when you're bouncing a Ned head off of it, like rock or wood or something like that would. But I can still feel it really well. Let's make another cast here. You can just see, it just bombs it out there. Those Fuji line guides really help with making it go out there with ease. So with a lot of more budget-friendly rods, you'll get a lot of sound when you're reeling it back in if you're running braid like this. And I do suggest running braid on pretty much all your spinning rod applications, but this one is very, very quiet. You can see the braid didn't really make much of a sound when you casted. And listen to this. very, very quiet operation when you're bringing that braid back in too. So that was some practice casts. You got to hear the operation of it a little bit, see how it actually performs when you cast it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and roll some of this footage of me actually using this rod to catch some fish. That way you guys can see what you think about it. There we go. He's fighting so good I can't tighten the drag up. Pretty good smallie here. Pretty nice one. All right, buddy. All right. That's a good one on the Ned rig here. All right, it's pretty sweet. There we go. That's a big one right here. Holy crap. That's a good one. Wow. Get some of the tension off here. That is a good smallie right here. Wow. Dang. Pretty good one again on the old Ned rig. Third one today, two about the same size. All right, guys, I hope you liked the review of this Lew's Speed Stick. This is the 7-foot version, medium power, fast action. And guys, for me, this was one of my dream rods. I went ahead and pulled the trigger on buying this thing, and I'm actually really stoked to get out and do some smallmouth fishing with this over the course of the spring and the summertime. And I think it is going to be an awesome addition to my arsenal. So, you know, I strongly suggest if you're looking for a good all-around light rod that's not going to break the bank, like I said, this thing is 80 bucks. It is a little pricey. It's like the mid-level tier when it comes to price, but this thing performs, it's comfortable, and hey, it's a Lew's, so it's built to last. All right, guys, if you like this kind of stuff, please stick around, join the channel, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in that next video.